Welcome, you guys.
Hello.
We're here for our first discussion in the Food Freedom Confidence Group. I'm Hannah Hips, and this is Sierra Spencer. We're eating psychology coaches, all right? So just thinking about that, we're looking at you as the whole person, all aspects. This is a really holistic approach that we are working towards food. And Sierra is a diet recovery coach, and I am a yoga instructor. So you're getting a well-rounded group of coaches here. And so thank you so much for joining us today. Our discussion today is, why do we struggle with food? If you have an answer to that, why do you struggle with food? Put it in the comments. And if you're joining us, say hello. We would love to interact with you. This is a discussion. So we're wanting this to be very interactive and talking about the issues that we're having around food, honestly. So let's dive right into why we struggle with food. And we're just going to say it. We're not going to hold back. This is like the real deal. The answer is diet mentality. Okay, we said it. Diets are it. It's the reason why we struggle with food. Okay, so we are working on freeing ourselves from diets, food, freedom, confidence. Okay, so our definition of diet mentality is anytime you make a choice about food based on outside pressures around your body, weight, size, or health, without trusting or listening to your own body. That is diet mentality. Every time we reach outside of ourselves because we want to change something about ourselves without tuning into who we are, it's diet mentality. Okay. And ditching diet mentality means we break up with restrictive, chronic dieting, fad diets, and the idea that you need to be on a diet or any other kind of pressure that you feel about your body weight, your size, or thinking that you need to be a certain size to be healthy. All of this is like creating such a havoc on our relationship with food and our body image. So diet mentality is the belief that dieting is the key to all of our health and happiness. And when we say dieting, it's restricting. It's counting the calories. It's labeling food and good and bad, okay? And we'll go into this a little bit more, but like dieting is like when we try to control the amount that we're eating and what we're eating. So it doesn't feel very expansive, right? When you think of a diet, doesn't that feel restrictive already? That's why most of us are like, I'm done with the diet cycle. I'm done. I can't do another one. It's getting harder and harder. There's a reason why. It's definitely a reason why. So diet mentality is the belief that, health is and happiness are all going to come from a diet. Okay. And it's based on common yet incorrect assumptions that intentional weight loss is a worthy goal to strive towards, that thin equals good and being in a larger body equals bad. Okay. Food is not a moral obligation. Our body, oh my gosh, our body, we put so much heaviness on our body, right? I just want to say we just got to take care of this thing that we got, this vehicle that holds all of ourselves in. So diet mentality also clouds or completely blocks our ability to tune in to our needs and like our gut, our intuition, to who we really are.
Yeah. So why we struggle with food again is we are stuck in diet mentality. And the reason why we chose this discussion to go live on first is because when we were thinking back, we've been talking to a lot of our past clients and a lot of our current members. And I remember when I first started my journey with food freedom, I didn't even know what diet mentality was. I didn't even know that I was stuck in diet mentality. I thought everything was my fault. I thought everything, like, I'm a failure. Like, this doesn't, like, I suck at like getting, like, why is it so hard for me? I didn't know that it wasn't my fault. I didn't know that diet mentality was even a thing, which is why we chose to talk about this first. So how do you recognize diet mentality? Here's a big point. You don't actually even have to be on a diet to experience diet thoughts, and what the authors of the intuitive eating book call pseudo dieting behaviors. So if you feel like you still have to control what you eat, when to eat it, and how much to eat, you are definitely have diet mentality at play. So we have a lot of people like, oh, I don't diet, I'm not on a diet, but they're still trying to control how much they eat. So remember though, this is not your fault. It's how we've been conditioned and programmed by diet culture. Okay, so these thoughts and behaviors are not always easy to spot, but here are some examples that can help you in recognizing diet mentality. So as I'm going through these, I want you to write or type the ones that resonate with you, like, oh, yep, that's me. Okay, so write that's me, or write the one that I'm talking about as something you connect with as diet mentality that comes up for you in your head. Okay, so sneaky diet mentality thoughts: counting calories, counting macronutrients, tracking, labeling food as good or bad or clean or sinful or forbidden. So labeling foods, eating only clean, healthy, low calorie, low fat type of foods, doing unproven dieting behaviors such as detoxing, cleansing for health purposes. Okay, that's sneaky. It's sneaky diet mentality. Feeling guilty or bad after eating foods that diet culture associates with weight gain, such as cakes, cookies, ice cream, chips, pizza, etc. Diet mentality is also fear of being judged by what you eat. Using compensatory behaviors such as really intense exercise, skipping a meal, or restricting to food to like burn off or pay for eating a certain food that is seen as bad. Right? Like, oh my gosh, I ate so much pizza last night, I better go to the gym for 4 hours today, or not eat breakfast or lunch. I used to do that all the time. I would always like skip a meal or like not eat or go crazy exercise hard if I felt guilty. Or maybe diet mentality is also like eating only at specific times a day. Like, I can never eat past 6 o'clock at night, even though there's little direct evidence to support or refute weight gain like at certain times of the day, right? Or another form of diet mentality is trying to actively maintain your weight at a very specific number by restricting and using compensatory behaviors. So being stuck on like being a certain number on the scale or a certain size of clothing. Those are all examples of diet mentality.
Yeah, and it's sneaky, right? Like we often don't realize because it's so natural in our mindset and in our belief system, it's so ingrained in us that it can be really hard to like acknowledge it. And that's what this group is here for, is to help you bring it to light so you can begin to create shift and change with your relationship with food, with your behavior, so you feel healthier, right? Like that's the whole point of us bringing this to light for you. So like, how do you get rid of diet mentality? Like this, it's everywhere. It's on TV, it's on social media, you hear it from doctors, you hear it everywhere, right? Like this ingrained belief about food. Well, it's not like, oh, you know about it now, and now it's never going to happen again. It's a process, and it's something that has to, be practiced. Be practice of like being aware of your thoughts and your beliefs about food. Like if you're starting to feel guilty about eating a certain food, check yourself. We should never, ever feel guilty about eating. That is something that is like so unnatural for us as humans. Just think, if we weren't guilty, if we didn't think food was good or bad, what do you think would happen? Do you think we would choose differently? Do you think we would be a little bit calmer, less stressful around food? I'm sure, yes. Me and Tia are both at that stage where choose food.
Okay, we lost her for a sec. Hopefully she'll be back in a minute. So again, like how, how do you get rid of this diet mentality? It's like how it's impacting your relationship with food. If you're binge eating, if you're overeating, if you're emotional eating, you feel obsessed around food and you are struggling with your weight, those are all symptoms of diet mentality. Those are not your fault. Binge eating, overeating, emotional eating, those are not the problem. It's a symptom of diet mentality. So again, which is why it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. You've been programmed to believe you're a failure. And the diet industry is the only industry, it's the only business that produces a product that doesn't work, but it's blamed for its failure. The consumers blame themselves. Crazy, right? So here's what we want you to work on today. We want you to throw out the diet books, the magazine articles, stop following these social media gurus. Hey, welcome back. I'm going over the love work. We want you to, get off of unfollow those people on social media that don't inspire you. If you scroll by and it makes you feel like crap, unfollow them. We want you to get angry at the lies that have led you to feel as if you were a failure every time a new diet stopped working and you gained back all the weight. If you allow even one small hope to linger that a new and better diet might be lurking around the corner, it will prevent you from being able to be free to rediscover food freedom, which is what we aim to teach you in this group.
Yeah, so we want to give you a lot of value right now and support you on this journey. And so we wanted to offer you a totally free, since this is we just announced the name this week, the group is brand new. We want to offer you a food roadmap session where we are going to go over your dietary things. We're going to take a look at your diet and see where there might be holes and gaps. We're going to talk about your desires and what might be holding you back. And then we're going to actually give you a strategy and roadmap so you can take the next step that is going to help you move closer to healing that relationship with food, healing that relationship with yourself. And we're super excited about offering that.
Yeah, so we're going to basically on this call, we're going to paint a picture of what your next steps are going to look like, potentially after we go through this typical day of eating. We're going to get really clear on what your goals are and, create and structure a custom plan for you. And if, you are confident that we can help you, we'll send you some really special training videos from our training vault. And we can set up a future call to dive into, getting more details about what we do. But again, this call is just to welcome you to the group, to say hello. We want to offer you, a roadmap, a direction. We want to help you go in the right direction. So if you want to schedule a food roadmap session with Hannah or I, comment below roadmap, and we will send you a private message on Facebook via Messenger. And if that feels a little bit scary or nerve-wracking, no problem. You can actually just message one of us privately and we can just chit chat back and forth and just support. We want to just support you. So whatever you would like to do as far as commenting or sending us a private message, we will send you our link with our scheduling link to book a call with us, and we'll get you started down this path on our roadmap to more food freedom. So we're so excited you guys are here, and we look forward to seeing you next week on Wednesday, same time, same place, to do another live discussion. Bye.
Bye, guys.